They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I'd have mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in 01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King Kirk. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King Kurt, your host of the OG 2 Cents podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who continue to tune in each and every Sunday or Monday sometimes. We truly appreciate it. Right now, if you're listening or watching on YouTube, make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Like I said, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, make sure you subscribe. Give us a 5-star. Helps us out a lot. Links will be in the description for all available streaming platforms. Let's continue to stand up against any forms of social injustice and racism. And as I always say, hashtag see more love. Let's continue to love more and not hate. This episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens, so you have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode 71, Life After Football with Brandon Bell. He's a New Jersey native, played college football for Penn State University, also played for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2017-18, participated with the Carolina Panthers in 2018, and finished out his career with the Seattle Dragons in 2020 of the XFL. He's now working as a PA for NFL Films, and he does shoutcasting and commentating with Compete4Ever in Madden tournaments and leagues. And he's also a co-host on EsportsXTRA. You know I don't like to do too much talking, so Brandon Bell, how you doing today?
I'm good, brother. Glad you got me on the show. I'm looking forward to joining this podcast and just speaking to OG.
Yeah, hey, now the thing is, man, ain't no, you know what I'm saying, speak open, honestly, freely. You know, you ain't got to hold back anything like that. But not to do too much talking, just I want you to get into it and tell your story and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, man. I'm a young black African-American man from southern New Jersey, Atlantic County to be exact, Mays Landing to be exact, exit 12, stand up, you know what I'm saying? That's what we call ourselves. If you're ever on the expressway going down Jersey, exit 12, stop by real quick. And yeah, I'm from like a town, it's a suburb of Atlantic City, right? If you ever been down there, it's kind of flashy casinos, you know, not what it used to be, but you know, it can there's some places down there if you ain't from, don't go type of situations. But that's not where I'm from. I don't claim it. You know what I'm saying? Grew up, nice area, but as far as sports and football, kind of honestly, the town I grew up didn't care about football, to be honest. Like, so that was kind of difficult in my journey, I guess you could say. Went to the local public high school, Oakcrest High School, and pretty much the fast forward was blessed to, you know, really stand out and start getting recruited by colleges and that was just a shock to me. Like, that was just coming from where I'm from. I never seen it. You know, it wasn't like there was guys left and right going D1 out of Mays Landing, New Jersey, in any sport really. There was a few in the county, but it wasn't a normal thing like up North Jersey. OG, you might be familiar now being a New Yorkan, but North Jersey football, the big schools, St. Peter's, Don Bosco, like everybody knows them. The towns shut down when they play, all that, and that wasn't how it is or was down South Jersey. So really kind of get recruited was a new thing, and I was blessed to go to Penn State University. Went to Penn State at a time where people weren't going to Penn State. I'll just leave it at that. At some iffy times. That was a difficult decision for like a 17-year-old. I had committed to Penn State, and then boom, national news, like about to get the death penalty, all that happened. And I remember I went back up there. I was like, I don't know if I should decommit and just, move on elsewhere. But at the end of the day, I felt like everything I wanted out of college football, I could still get there. At the time, I wasn't too worried about the penalties that were coming. And it was a blessing. They got lifted. End up going to Penn State anyway. The chance to play. Like I said, I'm from a town where nobody cares about football. And they told me 107,000 fans, nationally televised, dang near every week. You know what I'm saying? So that that's really kind of what got me. When you go to that stadium, I don't know if you've ever been there, but if you haven't, you got to go. It's just madness. It's the best place to play in the world, really. But so I fell in love with that. Fell in love with Penn State education, all that. The whole college thing. Time of my life, made some of my best friends for life, some of my old teammates. And, I encourage kids whenever I talk to high schools, especially where, like, it's not normal if you don't go to college, you know what I'm saying? Like, do everything you can to be able to, hopefully get some scholarships academically, everything. I'm not going to say throw your life away to go to college, but college is the best time of your life if you make it that way.
Now, you said like in Oakcrest and everything, they didn't really adapt to football. Now, did you play? You coming up? Did you play Pee Wee football?
Yeah, man. I played football since the age of 5, all the way up until about dang near 20 years straight. What really got me into football, I would say, was my brother. My older brother Keenan. I'm the youngest of 3. Oldest sister Erica. Then it's my brother. Then it's me. So I was about 5, or I was about 4, going to the same football field I would end up going to, watching him, being out there, Mays Landing Lakers, represent. And it was only right. By the time I was 5, I could sign up. Boom, I was there, and it's been ever since.
Okay. Now you committed to Penn State, and you end up going there and having a good career. But what other schools outside of Penn State was recruiting?
Yeah, I had a good little recruitment list. Actually, the very first school that offered me a full scholarship was Northwestern University, and I'll never forget that day. That was an amazing day. And then really after that, like they say, once one comes in, they start flooding in. A lot of other coaches, hear about you, blah, 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 blah. I had a few Big Ten. I had Northwestern, Purdue, Penn State, obviously. And then at the time, that was the Big East, when the Big East was still around. And that was Rutgers, West Virginia. I think I had most of the Big East. Rutgers, West Virginia, Maryland, Duke. It's just that whole list. Big Ten. I'm Ohio State. Penn State offered me, and Ohio State called me, and I got all hype. And they said, "Oh, if you come to a camp, maybe we'll talk about an offer type deal." And I'm safe to say I never got up there.
Right. Now I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I'm a Buckeye fan. Hey, before we get to your pro career, one of your big games was against Ohio State. We was ranked. I think we was ranked number 2.
Yeah, man.
We had a monster game that night. And the one thing about it, I know every time Ohio State, I don't care if we undefeated or whatever it is. But when we go to Penn State, man, it's always madness with the whiteouts and everything.
Yeah, man.
But that particular game, I remember the block field goal.
Yeah.
I was hurt, man, like for real. But talk about that night though, like playing in that type of atmosphere, playing one of the top teams in the country, knock them off, and you played a big part in that.
Yeah, that moment, that game, that night was literally, if you go back to the whole recruitment thing, that's what you go there for. Like the chance to play in one of those type games, and it was a dream. It was a dream come true. Like that was a magical year. That was a magical game. And of course, doing it at Ohio State, like you said, it's not a real rivalry, you know, because y'all got Michigan, but it's real beef right there. We always get the best out of each other. You know, sometimes they get the best out of us. Recently, I was there. My freshman year was that year. Y'all was banned, but y'all brought out those black Knight unis. I think that was the first time.
All right.
That was against us. It was a long night. Shit.
Right. Now, you know, what was some of your best moments? I mean, outside of that game we just talked about, but like, what were some of your best moments while playing at Penn State?
Things that come to mind for me were, I would say, my freshman year first time I was really like on the field, defense. Like the first kind of big kind of play I made, and I remember I just let out and that was my first time doing that, so that was dope. And then the Big Ten championship that same year, that Ohio State year, that was my first and only championship, if I'm not mistaken, that I've won in my career. So that was big to me. Wish we would have had a chance to go, you know, be number 4, at least to play Bama that year to get into the playoffs. But it is what it is. And a few other nights. Senior night was kind of emotional, all that shit. But that's really it, I guess.
Now, we talked about your journey from, you know, high school to college, but like, how was it when you left Penn State and you end up going to the Bengals? Like, what was that whole process like?
Yeah, that was a journey of its own. In hindsight, now I'm more mature. I can kind of, you know, bring some more things to realization at that point. But at the time, everything was different because like you come from, at least for me, I'm a humble dude. I'm always like a team first dude, captain, leader, all that. So like it's all about the team, all about the team, all about the team. But then as soon as you done playing and it's like that pre-draft, combine training, all that, I used to tell guys like, yo, this is your time to be selfish. It's all about you. Like there's no team. You trying to, you know, get ready, put the best product out there for, you know, the draft or whatever combine. And that was kind of different to me. And that's just kind of the point where they say like it's a business. Like you kind of gotta have that mindset twitch in your head from college to, you know, the pros, because it's a different beast in every facet.
Got you. Now, you, like I mentioned, you played for the Bengals. How much different was it playing big time Division I football and then stepping on the NFL field?
Yeah, like I said, it's a different beast, man. And you know, when there's guys that come into the league and they playing just like they played in college, like first play in their rookie year, those dudes are special because to me, it's more of a mental thing, kind of. Like I tell people sometimes, college you get the playbook, like all right, look, we got a few weeks to learn this, boom, it's like this thick. NFL is kind of like, yo, day one, same amount, you got to kind of have this down by day 2 so we can add another one. And you got to be able to process that and then obviously react in the play and have the physical kind of, you know, attributes to be successful. And that part, honestly, it caught me a little bit. Coming out of college, my last play was a Rose Bowl. This was another big moment. I fucked up my elbow, and that kind of, looking back, it mentally drained me because like injuries just always kind of like been nagging me. And then, but I think physically, I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't physically strong enough, ready for the league.
Got you. What are some things that you miss about not playing football? Like, what do you miss the most?
I think just kind of that, honestly, the locker room camaraderie type shit. Like, that's some of the best times. You ask any player, like, obviously, you play the game, you on the field, but just honestly, just like vibing with the guys, you know what I'm saying? Bullshitting. The locker room is a sacred place. Every team's gonna tell you that. And it really kind of is. Like, that sense of team, I think that's what I miss the most.
Got you. Now, if it was some things that you can do over, if you can hit the reset button and probably go back to high school, what are some things that you do different?
I would definitely go back to high school. And honestly, I could say the same thing for college. I wish I would have tuned in more. Back then, they used to tell us, but we just was ignorant. Tune in more to like the nutrition aspect. Mainly, obviously, eating better, and mainly sleep, getting the right amount of sleep and all that. Because back in those days, I was just doing whatever, waking up, not eating, and just like there was no guidance in that department until college. But in college, definitely I would go back and do the same thing, less drinking. And I wasn't the crazy one on the team, but just eating better, drinking better, sleeping better, honestly.
Gotcha. It's crazy now when you think about it because you got kids like 7, 8, 9 years old already on it. Like, I mean, it's all type of enhancement training center. It's everywhere. Like, I mean, I even think about like I'm a little older. I grew up in the 80s, 90s, like that.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even the only real training that you would consider is you was a 3-4 sport athlete. Like that was your all year round training. It wasn't anything extra or anything like that. You went from one sport to the next sport. Now, and that's basketball players train every day. Football players every day train all off season. Like, no.
But that's one thing I'll regret too from high school is not trying to do that. Like, I kind of came up in a time where the training stuff for high school kids kind of just started. Like, I was training, I had a trainer, but that shit was too expensive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't making no damn money. I'm asking my parents. And maybe I should have been more selfish, but I felt some type of way. Like, and so I did it for a few months and that was it, really. But it's hard, man. I don't know. Kids got it now. And that's why some of these athletic freaks is going crazy.
Yeah, you are an avid football fan, I know. Like, I mean, I always wonder, like, when you play in the pros, like, and then like now you're not playing, like, who is your favorite team? Like, who do you root for now that you was once in the league, you're not in the league?
At first it was tough to watch football, but now I don't know, I'm good now. And it's a part of my work now. So, but honestly, it's just like people friends, teammates, like college guys you met in the pros. And for me, like I'm a real dude, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter what. So the dudes I was close with, it's like that no matter what. So I still root those guys on. It's nothing but love. And obviously college teammates, I'm always tuned in with them. So I'm all around the league, just appreciating what the guys really doing out there, I guess.
I got you. I mean, I'm getting to that point from a fan aspect where, I mean, when I was growing up, it was all about your favorite team, your squad. Now it's more about people root for players. Like it don't really matter about the team, and that's kind of to the point I'm getting. I guess it's a little easy because I'm a Giants fan and they've been struggling. So I mean, it's kind of easy now. Justin Fields is with the Bears. And I'm
Cleveland. Y'all like mess with Cleveland and Dayton?
Well, I mean, it's mixed. It's split.
Really? Split. Oh, Cincinnati? Yeah, Cincy.
You got the Bengals and you got the Browns. Now this is where the divide is because you got the Steelers in there too because you got a lot of people from
Western PA. Yeah.
So but old school fans, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Because most especially
Cincy knew.
Yeah, and I mean, plus like back in the day, you talking about Jim Brown.
Historical.
It passed down through family. So that's pretty much where it's at. And then you got your sprinkle of Cowboys.
Cowboys everywhere.
So I mean, I
hate it.
Those are the four main teams. Like, so it's always interesting around football season. I mean,
really,
their fan base is crazy because they haven't won since I was in high school. So it's like
Let me turn this light down a little bit.
they still, they still root for them tough. So it's always interesting during football season.
Yeah, I've heard actually everybody is Buckeye fans though. That's who really rules the state.
Oh yeah, but see, now let me tell you,
everybody's Ohio State.
But now let me tell you an insider though. Like you got the hardcore, like high school fans and supporters who don't like Ohio State, like in the city.
Really?
They feel like Ohio State don't recruit.
Oh yeah. They go to the big public. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure that's everywhere. Like, I mean, a lot of universities deal with that. But because we got a lot of kids, particularly from Dayton, Ohio, that if they don't go to the Buckeyes, they go up north. Like, so
Michigan.
Yeah. I had a cousin that played wide receiver. Roy Roundtree played for Michigan. I mean, and that's how it goes. A lot, and it was a lot of other kids who went and played for Michigan too. Because it's like, okay, Ohio, and then Ohio State, they try to come in late on everything.
That's how they do.
Sometimes they get them though. I mean, cause it's Ohio State, but then if they don't get them, they go to Michigan. Yeah. So it's always interesting with that. I didn't root for Michigan. I rooted for my.
You can't do that. Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? I think you said it on the esports show. What was this? You said the hood ain't making it out no more, something like that.
Yeah, the hood kids ain't making it out no more.
Yeah,
because back in the day, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, shoot, it's a lot of people.
That's where the athletes was.
And they too young to remember Prop 48 and everything. Like now, hey, shoot, they done flipped the game. Prop 48.
Yeah, it's the kids that can afford that training that's going crazy.
Yeah, and then now being a freshman really don't mean nothing in college no more. If they even make it to college. Now, of course, football obviously is still football. Like I mean, you're not leaving. You ain't nobody.
It's a different game.
Dominating the NFL. Like so,
you fucking die.
Yeah. That's I wanted to ask you because I mean, obviously we met on EsportsXTRA and everything like that. But how did you and Larry like hook up and you started doing the Madden tournament, and everything. Like I seen everything you was doing before we asked.
Okay.
But it's like how did you hook up with Larry?
Honestly, I don't think I ever really asked him like how he got my number or my contact. To be honest. I kind of think I might know how it happened, but I haven't seen any link between those two people ever since. So I don't know. I'm gonna ask him one day, but honestly, it's a blessing, kind of, because like I enjoy it, and I never would have thought I would, and I always kind of because I enjoy this media world. It's kind of a little bit of my background, not fully as much as I wish I. That's one thing I do regret is studying more in this world. I got a little knowledge, but. People always say, oh, you should broadcast one day, all that type stuff. And I think I'm the type of person that can be on camera, but I think I'd rather be off camera, just like in the production aspect. But honestly, so it was a blessing. Like, I say, yeah, I'll do it. I'm down. I'll drive up, casino there, boom, 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 cash good. For Madden, you know what I'm saying? And that's why Larry picked me now. Like, I've gotten better, honestly. And it's cool. The first time I was nervous. I didn't know when to speak. And it's just, like I said, just a video game, but it was kind of hard. And honestly, Larry just looked out, and we've been rocking ever since. It's been like 2-3 years.
Nah, Larry, go getter, man. Like
for real.
he know how to put people together and put you in the right spot. Because it was the same thing with me at first. Like I always used to hear like, "Hey, you got a radio voice, or you got
Yeah, you do.
And I'm like. All right, but I ain't never thought that I would be like, I commentate the 2K tournaments and stuff like that. And I never seen myself like being in that light or anything like that. And even doing podcasts, and I had thought about it, but I didn't really think about putting it into action. But
that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I started with Larry, and like he got me amped up and got me going, and the rest been history. I mean, the difference, like with podcasting, it's your own. Like you can,
Right.
It can be professional if you want. It can be loose if you want.
That's where I'm stuck though.
I mean,
And in that process of like what it can be whatever you want. I know it's like, yo, it's mine. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And that's what I want to do. But I'm on that teeter of like professional, football, prestigious, or like how I really am. People really get to know me, which is, I think what I really want to do, what I will do. But like you said, kind of put it together. That's why I'm glad you invited me here, Larry. I'm taking any opportunity to get on the mic and just get more accustomed to this.
Nah, I'm with it. I mean, I trust it's a lot of. I mean, because the thing about it is this. I'll say this, and then whenever you decide that how you want to put your show together and stuff, you do that. But I think a lot of people do stuff and they like focus on like, the views and the
right
downloads and everything. I think you just whatever you're passionate about and it makes sense in your lane, then you do it. Like I mean,
right.
About it for me. I've had all types of people on the show. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be rich or anything like that.
Right. That's fun.
You just have to have a story to tell.
Right.
I mean, that can be anybody. So I think that's what worked for me, and that's part of how I built my platform. So it makes sense.
That's dope. And that's really it. That's what all that matters is like what you want to get out. That's how I feel for me. Like I'm a natural introvert, but I can definitely dip and dabble through the extrovert, like comfortable there, but I'm going to go hop back over here when I'm done. So like, I'm sociable, but I'm to myself. Like I'm in the crib, dolo. I got my homies from back home. They an hour away. A few of them moved around. I got my homies from college. We try to link up once or twice a year. But besides that, I'm dolo. Like, so a lot of my thoughts and the shit I be thinking is just to myself, and that's why I just gotta get it out. Like, fuck who really, who's listening, or the view, like you said, all the views is really for me, type thing. That's why I know I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start it. But until then, I'm taking notes on everybody, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nah, well, with that being said, shoot, you need to get started on it ASAP. I mean,
I know, bro. I got the equipment. I got this and that. I'm taking notes. I've recorded,
okay,
but it's to myself and I'm really trying to get a partner. I got my one boy DJ. He's just out in LA though, so I really don't want to do the Zoom thing. But honestly, I just need to start. Just go.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, me, and it's funny about the introvert and extrovert. I always say, I'm an introvert by nature. I'm just an extrovert when need be. Like that.
Right.
Myself and like
that's perfect. I'm gonna take that for sure.
Yeah, because my girl always be like, you sound so like it just flow, and I'm like, I mean, when I need to turn it on, but sometimes it may look like that, but I don't always know what I'm gonna say or anything.
Right.
It just go.
No, it is. It's adaptability. That's what I think we bring to the table. Like take me anywhere. I'm comfortable. And no matter what type of people are there, this, that, and third, color, race, religion, everything. I can cope.
Got it. Now at this portion of the show, it's called OG Wants to Know. It's rapid fire questions. Answer open as honestly as possible.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It ain't no heat.
All right. I don't want to say nothing. I might retract. Nope.
All right. Biggest influence.
Kobe. Sorry, that took too long.
What motivates you?
Family. For sure, family.
Biggest accomplishment.
Accomplishing my dream as a kid, playing the league, play big time college football and all that.
Okay. Favorite NFL player of all time?
That's a hard one. I'm gonna say Ed Reed. First person came to mind, Ed Reed.
Favorite quote?
I don't know who it's by, but it's don't go where the path may lead. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail. If I said that correctly.
Aha. Okay. Favorite actor and actress?
Favorite actor? I'm gonna go with Denzel. Actress? Ooh, I don't think I've ever been asked that. That's like sexist or something. Favorite actress? Damn, who's my favorite actress? I'm gonna go with Angelina Jolie came to mind. I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm a movie buff, but like I was stumped. It's fucked up.
I can dig it. Favorite
Sorry,
genre of
ladies.
music?
Oh, R&B and hip hop. I'm gonna just mash those in one. Got to.
Got you. Favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? I'm gonna go with The Departed with Leonardo. I think was the star. All of them. Great cast.
Okay. Favorite NFL team?
Never grew up with a favorite NFL team. I'm that guy. Everybody's Eagles fans where I'm from. I couldn't do it. They crazy. They crazy, man.
Got you. Now, one thing I want to speak on before we get out of here. You now a PA for NFL Films. Talk about what's that like, and actually what do you do?
Yeah, man. It's another blessing. I'm still trying to find my path in this world, career-wise, purpose-wise, and kind of like we said, venturing more into this media world is just naturally happening. So I'm just going. I ask God to just guide me, and I'm just going with what comes. And so it's been good. I'm working with NFL The Matchup Show. It's a show on ESPN. Greg Cosell, legend, just football, like, I don't know, connoisseur, honestly. He's a great dude, and I'm just helping out with anything I can, really, and just try to get my foot in this foot in the door with NFL media, sports media in general. Just trying to see where it takes me.
Got you, man. Well, Brandon, I want to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you telling your story. Obviously, man, you're going to spend more time together on esports.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you get your podcast, I'll be more than willing to come on.
For sure, man. For sure.
With you.
Definitely. Gotta have OG grace the pod.
Hey, but before you go, tell everybody your social handles and how they can keep up with you.
Yeah, man. Twitter and IG. That's really about it. It's __ B Bell BBELL. That's what they call me. You know what I'm saying? Call me what you want, but that's it. __ B Bell. Hopefully, got some content coming soon.
Yeah, do that. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, I want to thank everybody who tuned into this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple, iHeart, Spotify. Truly appreciate you. Make sure you follow the OG 2 Cents podcast on social media at the OG 2 Cents podcast. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Follow me on social media at OG King CURT. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also on TikTok as well. I've been creating some nice little videos on there, some of my workout journey and everything like that. So make sure you tune in, follow, like I said, the OG 2 Cents podcast on social media, and follow me on social media as well. You can go to www.ogkingkurt.com for everything OG King CURT and OG 2 Cents podcast. Shout out to my team, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, Cy Evermore, and Matrix for continuing to help the OG 2 Cents podcast be what it is today. Make sure you tune in to EsportsXTRA every Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. That's what hosts. And matter of fact, that's 4 p.m. on the Black News Channel. And that's what hosts Larry Ridley, the crew, Antonio Williams, Kelly Wells Brinkley, Derwin Royale, myself, and Brandon Bell, and producer extraordinaire Kevin Mamuzet. And like I said, that's Esports Extra every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Black News Channel. And you can find that on Spectrum, Roku, almost any streaming platform. You can find the Black News Channel. So make sure you tune in. Also follow Esports Extra on Twitter at Esports Extra, and that's EsportsXTRA on Twitter. Make sure you go to www.skulls.com/OG King for OG King Kurt merch and the OG 2 Cents podcast merch. And that's Skulls, that's SKULLZ. It's a lot of good merch on there. You can get your own customized jersey, hoodies, long sleeve t-shirts, coffee mugs, phone covers, you name it. Make sure you check that out. And you can also use the discount code OG15%. That'll get you 15% off your order. If you happen to purchase any gear or merch or anything like that, make sure you take a pic, post it on social media, tag me, and I'll make sure that you'll be in our next episode. So make sure you do that. And make sure you tune in to next week's episode. And remember, if it makes sense, it's at OG 2 Cents. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.